Kevin, to be sitting here right now at the Finneran Pavilion as the head coach of a program that I know you have so much respect for, what does this moment mean for you and your family?
Yeah, it's special, John. It is. You know, I've had some time to really think about it, and I've had some time to walk around this building, and had some nightmares and had some good memories. But I've had so much. I got to see Jay build this program, really from when the Big East kind of started new, to when I left, and I have so much respect for the way he coached, for the way his players played. For the fan base, how great they are. So to be part of this family and be part of this culture, be part of this university, it's really special.
You're a junkie. You watch a lot of basketball. You pay such close attention to everything within college basketball. Where do you place this job?
Oh, I think it's the best job in college basketball. I mean, I really do. I think it's, again, go back to 1985 and then just start looking at the history of great coaches, great players. I think being in a sports crazy town like Philadelphia is awesome. And then being back in the Big East, which, you know, obviously Villanova is a huge reason why there's so much success in the Big East. I just think it's as good a job as there is.
This league, the coaching within it. A former boss is still going away like he's 43 or 45 or 50. You know Richard, who takes the job at Xavier, but between Greg McDermott and Ed Cooley, Dan Hurley, who's won back-to-back titles heading into this year, to be back in this fraternity and to know the priorities of this league, that when you guys sit down, men's basketball is the priority. How much is that a reason why you're sitting in here?
Yeah, I mean, that is a huge reason. I think, you know, the respect I have for the coaches in this league, obviously what Danny's done at UConn, I don't have to talk about Coach Pitino and what his legacy is, probably maybe arguably the greatest college coach of all time. Ed Cooley and I have had battles. Richard's going to do an unbelievable job at Xavier. What Mac does at Creighton, the list goes on. I do think, though, where college sports are now, we're in a unique position. Not so much a better position, but I think we're in a unique position with what happens with the House settlement. So the coaches I'm looking forward to go battle against them because I have so much respect for them. And I know what they've done since I haven't been here.
You started your press conference by saying I'm going to be brief, and I'll say less because maybe doing that is the best move. That being said, you had an immense amount of respect for the job you previously had, and that's a very good job in college basketball.
It's a great job.
Great job in college basketball. But what was it ultimately that made you and your wife say, you know what, for us, you call this your last destination, this is the place for me?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. I think that's what most people don't understand. It wasn't about me this time. I've made every coaching decision in my career about what was best for my career. This was a decision based on what was best for my wife and I's future. We loved Maryland. I love Maryland. It's a great fan base. It's a great place. But when we started looking at where our kids wanted to go to school, where they were going to be, where we wanted to live, where our families are, where I wanted to coach, you know, there was just so many things that we talked about as a family. And this was, you know, when we came down to it, my wife and I we looked at really wasn't looking at pros and cons. We just looked at as a great opportunity. And this is a place that we want to set up roots and be for a very long time.
As you sit down in this chaotic world, I know there's no one answer to the situation, but a Kevin Willard roster at Villanova University, what are you looking for when you're sitting on these hundreds of Zooms?
Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson. Give me a Dante, maybe an Arch and a Gillespie. Mari Spellman would be nice too. He gave it to me a couple times too. Really, I think now in the landscape is a balanced roster. You know, the days of trying to load up and saying we're going to redshirt guys and we're going to do this. Now what I really try to focus on is just having balance. And I think last year I looked at my team and we had great balance top to bottom. And I think that's something that as we build this roster and as we're building it daily, We're going to make sure that we do what's best for the players coming in, do what's best for the players that are staying, and do what's best for Villanova.
When people were talking in recent weeks, and a lot of people brought this place up to me and the possibility of you being here, and I want to see what your thoughts are on this. I said to people, look, his best moments, some of the best memories for you as a coach came with Villanova on the court as well. And that's when you're at Seton Hall. Epic Big East tournament games, tremendous rivalry games through the years, whether it's in Philadelphia or up in Newark. Just how much does that mean to you when you reflect back on all the moments?
I think that's something, John, that, again, when you're going through things like this, really is special. Because I've had so many special moments against them. I've had heartbreaks. Josh Hart tipping in. Chris Jenkins, the best three-point shooter. I think it was his only bad miss of his career, and a bad miss right to Josh for a tip-in. They scarred you. Isaiah Whitehead's layup. Sterling Gibbs step-back jumper. So there's so many of them that I think that is just it's ingrained in me. It's part of me.
When you think about this community and the fans, this building, not easy. As you learned as a visitor, not easy for any visitor to come in here. You told Philadelphia folks you want to have fun. What would you say to them?
Yeah, I mean, I think the way I look at coaching now, John, because again, the world's changed. It's not 10 years ago. It's not 5 years ago. I want my teams to play with great energy and have fun playing passionate basketball. And that's all I want the Villanova fan base to be too, is be passionate, be energetic, understand that there is going to be year to year, you're going to lose a player every once in a while. There's going to be a little roster turnover. That's part of where we are in college sports right now. So right now we have to adapt. We have to adapt as coaches, and we have to adapt as a fan base and adapt as a community. And the team that goes out there, I want them to be excited about. I want them to be passionate about.
You've had a journey of close to 2 decades as a head coach. How much do you feel, because I know how much you have those big dreams, you want to win a national championship. It's what every coach wants. But how much do you feel that at this destination, knowing what you want to accomplish in your career, that those types of things, it takes a lot of work, are possible?
Yeah, absolutely, Johnny. I also think it's this part of my career in life. Like I said, we're going to be empty nesters. The only thing I'm going to have is basketball, and because I know my wife's not going to want to be around me. So I think this part, and again, that's the way we looked at it on this decision, was like, hey, we're going to be together. This is where we want to be. This is a university. This is a program that's won national championships, not just 16, 18, but 1985. They've been to Final Fours. So we looked at this as an unbelievable opportunity for us to be as a family and to be as a coach.
You said at 50 you're entering the prime of your coaching career. Bill Raftery's in the prime of his at 80.
The prime of a lot of things, yes.
Kevin, congratulations.
Thanks, John. Great to be with you.